Welcome to your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit, where we decode the shifting gears of global trade. In early 2025, the U.S. imposed sweeping tariffs of up to 50% on imported steel and aluminum, sending shockwaves through the global automotive and manufacturing scenes. As supply chains sputtered, 7 nations found new ways to keep their engines roaring, pivoting from the U.S. to Canada, forming fresh alliances to safeguard their industries. Buckle up as we explore these 7 countries' strategic detours and how they're fueling a whole new automotive landscape. Number 7. Brazil's shift to Canadian markets. In March 2025, Brazil's agricultural exports, beef, soy, and ethanol, suddenly faced a 25% U.S. tariff, threatening a whopping $12.8 billion annual beef export revenue. Brazil wasn't about to stall out, though. By late March, it inked a $2 billion deal with Canada, rerouting beef to Alberta and Manitoba, soy to Winnipeg and Saskatoon, and ethanol to Quebec. This new trade flow not only saved about 5,000 ranching jobs back home, but also created 400 new positions in Canadian meat processing and 250 in grain cooperatives. Brazil didn't stop there. It expanded ethanol byproduct exports to China, further flexing its trade agility. This strategic pivot showcases how nimble maneuvering can keep the economic engine humming, even when tariffs throw a wrench in the works. But Brazil isn't the only nation shifting gears. Mexico was next to take the wheel. Number 6. Mexico's auto parts detour to Canada. When the U.S. slapped a 35% tariff on Mexican auto components, it hit Mexico's automotive heartland, places like Ciudad Juarez and Monterrey, hard. Enter the Triple North Corridor Alliance, an $8.2 billion lifeline forged with Canada to reroute everything from suspension systems to ECUs northward. This partnership fired up Ontario's assembly lines and logistics hubs, giving Canadian cities like Windsor and Brampton a turbo boost in auto production. For Mexican suppliers, the new pipeline to Canada meant steady production, preserving precious jobs and economic momentum. Yet, Canadian officials had their worries, specifically whether Chinese parts might sneak in under the hood. That sparked fresh debates about USMCA's future and potential bilateral fixes to keep the gears turning smoothly. Still, the Mexico-Canada alliance proves that cross-border teamwork can outmaneuver tariffs and keep auto assembly lines humming. Before we dive into Australia's mining pivot, do us a favor, smash that like and subscribe button. This helps us bring more updates to fellow auto enthusiasts like you. Number 5. Australia's mining moves to Canada. Australia's mining sector, the engine behind its economy, hit a rough patch when the U.S. levied a 30% tariff on critical raw minerals, iron ore and lithium. Faced with this detour, Australia charted a new course. The Northern Stars Initiative, a $3.5 billion deal struck with Canada in April 2025. The new arrangement rerouted Australian iron ore to Canadian ports like Vancouver and Thunder Bay, giving Ontario's steel mills the resources to boost output by 18% by mid-May. Australia's lithium miners also teamed up with a Canadian electric bus manufacturer, shifting battery-grade lithium carbonate to Welland, Ontario. That move preserved around 2,100 Australian jobs and ensured their mining sector didn't get left in the dust. This pivot shows Australia's resilience in the face of trade headwinds, reinforcing the global race for raw materials to keep the automotive industry rolling. Speaking of energy transitions, let's see how France is sparking green hydrogen partnerships. Number 4. France's green hydrogen partnership with Canada. France's hydrogen sector faced a high-voltage problem in 2025. A 30% U.S. tariff on hydrogen electrolyzers left production lines cold and orders canceled. In response, France and Canada penned a $1.2 billion hydrogen infrastructure pact in April. This pact didn't just keep the spark alive in France, preserving 1,000 jobs. It also jump-started 850 new roles in Canada, training local talent to operate French-made electrolyzers. This partnership feeds into France's grand hydrogen vision, targeting 4.5 gigawatts of capacity by 2030, backed by a €4 billion support program. That's not the only battery breakthrough. South Korea is ready to charge ahead. Number 3. South Korea's battery supply switch to Canada. South Korea's battery industry faced a tough road in 2025 when a 20% U.S. tariff on lithium-ion modules threw a wrench into their export pipeline, especially to major markets like California. But they didn't stall. They shifted gears fast. LG Chem and Samsung SDI struck a $1.7 billion deal with Northvolt Canada, rerouting 500,000 battery modules to Canadian hubs like Windsor, London, and Hamilton. This pivot wasn't just about numbers, it was about preserving momentum. Around 3,000 jobs were saved in South Korea, and Canada's EV supply chain got a major torque boost. By mid-May, 2 Canadian facilities had each trained 350 new technicians in assembling these precision Korean battery packs. LG Energy Solution also announced plans to build the world's first 4680 battery plant in Chungbuk, South Korea, an innovation that cements their global position. Let's see how Denmark's renewable energy sector is catching the wind. Number 2. Denmark's green power surge into Canada. Denmark's renewable energy sector faced rough winds in 2025 when a 30% U.S. tariff on wind turbine components hit hard, halting projects and drying up orders. But Denmark wasn't content to watch from the sidelines. By April, they had signed a $1.5 billion green technology deal with Canada, shifting their renewable exports north to provinces like Nova Scotia and Saskatchewan. This pivot didn't just keep Denmark's turbines spinning, it preserved 900 Danish jobs and created 1,100 new positions in Canada's renewable sector. Denmark's long-term vision is clear: double its offshore wind capacity with 3 gigawatts of fresh tenders, all while fueling clean energy initiatives worldwide. Finally, let's see how Germany's dual auto and hydrogen deal is keeping their automotive engine running. Number 1. Germany's dual-track auto and hydrogen deal with Canada. Germany's automotive giants faced a major speed bump in 2025, a 25% U.S. tariff on vehicles and auto parts that threatened thousands of jobs and supply chain stability. True to their engineering DNA, Germany didn't idle. They forged a $10 billion duty-free auto parts quota with Canada. This agreement redirected critical components to Canadian plants, keeping assembly lines humming and workers on the job. But Germany wasn't done. They also signed a hydrogen pact with Canada to boost clean energy security and ensure a reliable supply of Canadian hydrogen, a crucial step in meeting future climate and energy goals. The road ahead, shifting gears in a new trade era. The U.S. tariffs of 2025 have dramatically reshaped the trade map, but they also reveal a powerful lesson. Adaptability wins the race. Countries like Germany, Denmark, South Korea, France, Australia, Mexico, and Brazil have proven that forging new trade alliances can keep industries alive and economies moving forward. For the automotive world, these shifts are more than headlines. They're a wake-up call about the importance of diversified trade lanes and robust supply chains. As we look ahead, these pivots underscore the need for flexibility, innovation, and international teamwork to navigate the potholes of protectionism. Now let's hear from you. What do you think about these 7 countries pivoting away from the US and toward Canada? Which of these strategic shifts do you believe will have the biggest impact on the future of the automotive industry? How do you see this wave of trade realignment shaping global car manufacturing in the next few years? Let us know your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. This is your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit, and we're all about sparking conversations with fellow enthusiasts. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next round of updates and deep dives into the world of cars and global trade. Thanks for watching and see you next time. You can now check out any of the videos on the screen. There's plenty more to explore.